Could it be? For me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to this Louie T Network exclusive. Here to break down another opportunity to get into the LTN exclusives. I'm not going to keep you here very long. I told you I'm going to continue to bring these public service announcements to you up until we get to the deadline, trying to get as many people involved as possible. Feel like I started earlier this year, and yet it's moving slower than in past years. I don't really understand the logic behind that, but whatever. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is Louie T Network's exclusives, Bat Like Cook Crack. The season is nearing. We're in the final week of the preseason. We'll have no NFL action next week. So I'll be hard at work getting everything situated. I've already got most of the sheets set up for you guys. I told you this year is going to be a lot more fun because I'm going to be a lot more involved and engaged with you guys. Sort of like a throwback for those of you who were back in the upper room days. It's not going to quite be like that, but I'm going to make sure that I acknowledge, the week's best, the person that kind of flamed out, those type of things. I'm going to make you be accountable for your picks. I'm going to make you be accountable for the things that you put down on your sheet. So it's going to be a lot more fun this year. And I just want to try to make sure that it's not just a regular pool. It's not just a regular league. It's not just, some league you can join and then you set it and forget it. I want you to feel like you're a part of something because you are. And we're going to have a lot of fun with it this year. So again, if you have not signed up, the registration information is down below in the description of this video. And I'll also pin it in the comment section when this video is done. All you have to do is click the link, fill out the registration form, pay your registration fee. Once I receive that, I will then send you an email letting you know that you are locked in. Next week, I'll be sending out another, probably the week after, as we get a little bit closer. I'll be sending out another batch of emails. That first day of that week, Monday, I'll be sending out a batch of emails, maybe even over the weekend, for those who are already in the pool, letting you know that the sheet is up and available and sending you the link. And you fill out the sheets, and then you'll get a master sheet back during Thursday so that you can see everything, follow everything, and give you all the information that you need in case this is your first time playing. So, again, let's go through the 3 LTN exclusives that are available and at your disposal. So, of course, the granddaddy of them all, the one that I've been doing for the longest amount of time, is the Soul Survivor Pool. This is the 11th annual Soul Survivor Pool. I've been doing the Soul Survivor Pool for as long as I've been in existence here with the Louie T Network. It's easy to do. It's fun. I've never won. I even hate saying that, like fixing my lips to say that I haven't won something that I've been doing for over a decade is criminal to me, but it's facts. I can't lie about it. I haven't won. And last year I got eliminated in week 1. And I part of the reason I couldn't stand the Denver Broncos last year, specifically Nathaniel Hackett, is because of that game. They got me eliminated in week 1, and it was really, really bad. So I want to bounce back, not just because of the bad taste that left in my mouth last year, not even being competitive. I mean, not getting out of week 1 is as bad as it gets, but I need to win. Okay, my need to win the Survivor Pool is at an all-time high. I'm getting desperate at this point because I haven't been close to winning it since like maybe 2019 or something like that, 2020 maybe. Like I'm never even close. That's the problem that I have, is I outsmart myself every year. So a Survivor Pool, let me walk it back and get to the basics. A Survivor Pool is very simple. It's essentially you pick a team in week 1 to win. If that team wins, you advance to the next week. You can no longer pick the team that you selected. So for an example, say week 1, I picked the Washington Commanders to beat the Arizona Cardinals. The Commanders do beat the Cardinals. I advance to week 2. I can no longer pick the Washington Commanders for the duration of the Survivor Pool. Now, the next week, I have to find another team that I think is going to win, not name the Washington Commanders, to win in week 2 to get me to week 3. And you will continue doing this until hopefully you're the last man or woman standing. Okay. So Survivor pools are extremely fun. They're unpredictable. As you can see, I got eliminated week 1 thinking that there was no way Denver was going to lose to Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks on a Monday night. Russell Wilson's going back home. This is going to be great. I couldn't have been more wrong. So you just never know what the hell's going to happen. So survivor pools are so easy. You just pick one team, right? $20 is the registration fee. And that'll get you locked in. Again, the link to that pool is down in the description. Click the link. It'll take you straight to a Google Doc that you fill out. After you're done filling it out, pay your fee, whether it's PayPal or it's CashApp, and you're set. I'll be sending you an email letting you know you're locked in, got your registration form and fee, and you're ready to go. So the biggest pool usually is winners and losers. That's a league, however. So much like a fantasy football league, it's year long. So if you can't commit to a year-long commitment, you probably shouldn't get in, because you have to submit picks every single week. Now, the payoff for the league is usually, the payout is a little bit more. It's usually greater than that of any other LTN exclusive that is offered. But you have to wait. Obviously, it's season long and it's a process. But much like the team you're rooting for, it's not a sprint, but rather a marathon. And you've got to show your prowess as a football fan and a prognosticator. So this is your opportunity to prove that you know what's going on in the league. And most people don't know what's going on in the league. They only know what's going on with their team, and that's fine. But for diehards like myself, this pool, it's where this league, rather, it's where it's at. It's the Winners and Losers League. Again, the link is down in the description. $25 registration fee. The form is down in the description as well. Hit the link. It'll take you to the form. You fill it out, pay your registration fee, and then I'll be sending you an email once I receive those things, letting you know you're locked in. Look, you make picks every single week. It's like a football pool, but instead of weekly, and I do a weekly pool, and we'll get to that one last, but instead of it just being over after 1 week, you just tally up all of the wins and losses, and then you go on to the next week, and then you tally up the wins and losses, and you combine them, and you have an overall record. And we keep that running tally the entire year till we get to the very end, and the person with the best cumulative record wins the pot. Winner takes all. It's a lot of fun. It's hyper competitive. That's the league that I'm going to probably be making sure that we're engaged in a little bit more, because it's a lot of fun. And it's fun to look at the standings, see where you are. You know, I'm back 2 games, and you have a really good week. It sucks when you have a really bad week. You don't even want to look at. I can't speak for you. I don't even want to look at the standings in the week when I have a really lackluster performance, and I know that I've got either people nipping at my heels or I've got people ahead of me that I'm trying to catch, and you just can't afford to have those types of weeks. But again, the unpredictability of the NFL makes it so much fun. So last year was amazing. We had so many people in the league last year. The pot was over $1,000. I'm trying to get it back to that level again. I mean, if we fall short, that's fine, but I want to get as many people in the league as possible. I ordered the new championship belt. That should be getting here down the road. They actually emailed me and said, hey, we're swamped right now. And I'm assuming a lot of people are getting fantasy football championship belts and things of that nature made. So they're a little backed up, but I should be getting that belt sometime next month. And I'll be flashing it on the show. You guys will see what we're fighting for, in addition, of course, to the prize money. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You make selections every single week. You pick a winner for each and every single game. And again, it's a running tally, wins and losses. We get to the end of the season and we see who is victorious. I was hot, the first few years that we were doing this. I won the second year I started doing this. I think I've been doing this now for maybe 6 years. I think this is the 6th year. I didn't win the first year. I won the second and the third year. in a row, and I was feeling really good. I was smelling myself. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was talking so much trash. And then I've lost the last 2 years. So I'm really out for blood now, because what I've done the last 2 years effectively is I've dug myself this what felt like an insurmountable hole. Last year I was down 12 games after 8 weeks of football. That's how poorly I started last year. But by week 14, I had closed the gap to within 2 games. I was so proud of myself. But I ran out of gas at the end. I just didn't have anything left at the end of the season, and they reopened the gap, and I fell behind, and I think I ended up finishing in like 4th or 5th place or something like that. My goal is to always finish at least in the top 3. I don't think I did that last year. I'm not sure. I might have finished 3rd. I think I finished like 4th though. Either way, I didn't win. So who gives a shit? That's the most important thing, is win. And I didn't do that. So again, this year, I'm going to be more interactive with you guys. We're going to talk about, each week. I know the first year that I started this, I used to give out awards like the MVP of the league, the person that led the league for the longest amount of time, the most shameful, prognosticator, things of that nature, just to make it fun. I did that at the end of the year after the league was over. I may go back to doing that. We'll see. But I just know this. I'm going to make sure that we have a ton of fun with this year. So it's not going to just be, you send in your picks and then that's it. I'm going to have a show on a weekly basis that keeps you up to speed on what's going on in the pool, who's leading, who's in second, who's in third, who made a hard charge, who had the best picks of the week, who had the worst picks of the week, that sort of thing, kind of make jokes, talk about my growth or my, suffering or whatever is going on, trials and tribulations of an NFL season, all of that wrapped into one. That's what we're going to do with this Winners and Losers League this year. So if you haven't already gotten in, it's not too late, plenty of time left, but the clock's ticking. We're now nearing the end of August, and as the calendar turns to September, the start of the regular season is knocking on the door, so you don't want to wait too much longer. So go ahead, get everything submitted. Again, the link is down in the description for you to sign up and register, send in your fee, and then you'll be locked in. And then lastly, the weekly pick'em pool is my baby. I think it's something that I enjoy because I've been doing this in particular probably since I was like 7 or 8 years old. My dad used to run a football pool when I was a kid, and he worked in a warehouse. And so there were a bunch of guys that were rabid football fans. And, it'd be like $300-400, $200-400 a week that this pool would amass. And I'd be the one in charge of typing up all the sheets. And, that was my job. And then my pay for doing that was I got to play for free. So I didn't have to pay the $5 to get in. My dad would pay for me. So I just love weekly pick'ems. I love weekly football pools because it takes me back to my childhood. That said, it seems like nobody else loves them. And I get it. Not everybody likes to gamble. I just feel like watching games, there's this extra added adrenaline boost. And I told you I'm an adrenaline junkie. And I just love competing. That's what it boils down to essentially. I just love competing. And so there's nothing like being there on a Sunday afternoon, watching the little ticker at the bottom, looking at the scores, knowing you pick this team and you need them to win, and they're taking care of business, or they're down and then they're mounting a comeback and you're rooting like hell for them to come back. For me, I've got usually like 6 games in front of me. And so I'm watching these games with, really, really aggressive intent because I know I picked that team and I need them to win. And so it's the same premise as the Winners and Losers League, but unlike Winners and Losers, there's no season-long commitment, all right? All you have to do is make picks for that 1 week, and if you win, you get the pot right then and there. So that's the biggest thing, right, is that with the weekly pick'em, this is 1 week. $7 gets you in to the pool. However many people play, we throw the money in the pot. And after it's done, whoever comes out victorious wins the money. And then we reset and we do it all over again the following week. There is a tiebreaker at the end. Monday Night Football serves as a tiebreaker. So what we do is we use points combined from the two teams to settle any ties. Let's say you and I both have 2 losses that week, and that's the best. Nobody else has 2 losses except you and I. And so we're tied going into Monday night. We have the same team to win on Monday night. We both picked the Bills in week 1 to beat the Jets, and we both have 2 losses. So now we go to the points. I picked 51 points combined with the 2 teams. You picked 47 combined points between the 2 teams. So essentially, you have from 0 to 50 to beat me, and anything above 50, I win, because the point of the combined points is to either hit it on the head or to get as close as you can without going over. If you're over, you lose, right? So me having 51 points, if the 2 teams combine 30 to 20 is the final score, and the Bills win, it's 50. I lose because I had 51. I went over. You got closer because you had 50. Even though I'm technically closer at 51, I went over. So by default, I lose. You had 47, so you win, right? And let's say that I had 49 and you had 47, and the point total ends up 48. Splits the difference. Again, you win. I went over. We're both close. We're both 1 point away, but I was over. So again, you lose by default because you went over. The person with 47 would win. That's how the tiebreaker works. So we try to make sure that there's no tiebreakers or no ties involved, so that there's no splitting of the money. You know, sometimes it just happens. You pick the same amount of points, you have the same amount of losses, and it just is what it is. But that's something that we do every week. I have to do a better job of promoting that, I think, because not enough people get in it, I feel like, on a weekly basis, and it's a ton of fun. But anyway, I digress. So those are your LTN exclusives. All of the links are down in the description. And what I'll do is I'll start pinning those links to my Twitter or to one of my social media feeds. Also on YouTube, I'll be, putting it on the community post wall so that you'll have access to it. The links will be in every single video as well. So I'll make sure that that's something that you can just click on any single video that I put out, and it'll be in the comments, the description as well. So I'll make sure that it's very easily accessible, because in past years, all you had to do was go to my website, but I got rid of the website because I never used it for anything other than the LTN exclusive. So felt like I was wasting a bunch of money. So I just got to be more aggressive with the links, putting it everywhere so that it's so easy for you to get your hands on. But nonetheless, you know what you have to do. Don't sit on the sideline. Get in the game, okay? Links are down in the description. I'll pin the links to the comment section as well. Get in the game. Don't sit on the sideline. Be a part of the action. Let's have some fun. And maybe you'll make some money along the way. Who knows? If you're good enough, we'll see. Anyway, I think I got a super chat here. I do. So, Twin D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, "Hey, LT, once again, I've entered the LTN pools. I'm ready to win 3 or 4 weeks or more of the weekly pick'em pool as I usually do. LOL." You were hot last year. You were hot like fire last year. And I remember, remember, I struggled. Like I just told you, I struggled out of the gates, which is what put me in that hole, that 12, game deficit or whatever I was in, heading in like week 8, before I made a hard charge comeback, but fell short. And I remember you just getting off to this ridiculous start, because I remember we used to laugh the year before. You were getting cooked. You couldn't win nothing, right? And I used to make fun of you for picking all kinds of nonsense. And then the next year, it's like you couldn't do wrong. I think you won like maybe 5 out of the first 7. It felt like maybe it might have been like more like 3 out of the first 5 or something like that. But it was still ridiculous. It felt like you were winning every week, and I wasn't winning nothing. So it felt even worse. And you were like, "Hey, I got you again." And I'm like, "Oh my God, how is this guy beating me?" Right? So That's the fun of it, right? Is you get to rub it in, and you know I'm hyper competitive, so I'm over here stewing, like I'm mad. I'm like, you're laughing, I'm pissed on the inside. That shit's eating me up. Okay, but I can't be mad because you're making the picks and you're kicking ass, and I'm over here on the sidelines getting my brains bashed in. So that was funny. I remember that last year. You were just like, I beat you again, and then the next week I beat you again, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? How is Twin D beating me? This is crazy. Last year was rough, man. It was rough. I didn't get on my horse until, like I said, I think it started with like week 9, and you can't essentially give away half of the year and expect to win anything. So I got to be better this year, man. And I will. So anyway, I digress. I thank you guys in advance for joining these LTN exclusives. You guys are what make it fun. If nobody plays, then it's no fun. I'm going to say this, and I know this is going to sound weird, but it's like I'm playing with myself, right? Playing by myself. You guys know what I'm talking about, okay? Get your head out of the gutter, man. So without you, this doesn't exist. It's not any fun. It's only fun if you guys participate. So if you're out there, you see this, and you're on the fence, come on, get in, have some fun. All right. Anyway, I digress. That was a big pause, by the way. Twin D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? I want to acknowledge that Music Head University is back in business. I also want to ask if you are aware of Coast Contra. They are a breath of fresh air. No, I'm not. I'm going to add that right now to my list of, because in the comment section, and this is part of the reason I started Music Head University, is to have people, suggest things. And I always ask, questions that kind of prompt you to maybe open the door to some things that I'm not aware of. And so I am going to write down Coast Contra right now and add it to the list of artists that I have to check out, because I don't hear everything. I don't see everything, as you guys know. And so I'm always open to new music. I love exploring, finding new artists. So thank you for that. Anyway, so I thank you guys for joining me. I look forward to chopping it up with you. Music Head University is back. I didn't make a post today on the channel. So if you haven't subbed up over there, by all means, please go ahead and do that. You won't be sorry. A lot of good content over there. And I look forward to getting back on my horse on that channel as well, and starting to get back in the swing of things with the content on Music Head University as well. And I have to be better at responding to your comments. I had a blast last night seeing all the comments that I hadn't gotten to and responded. I literally was up until like 4 a.m. responding to comments last night. And I could have stayed up until it was time to get up with the kids to get them ready for school, which is around 7. I could have stayed up literally just responding to comments on it. I was like, man, take your ass to sleep. What are you doing? So I really enjoy it. And hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. But again, LTN exclusives. What are you waiting on? Don't sit on the sideline. Get in the game. You know what it is. I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. Until next time, you guys have a good one. Sign up, register, pay your fee, get in the game. Don't sit on the sideline. Be a part of the action and the fun. Links are down in the description. I'll also pin those links to the comment section so you can have easy access to them. You know what to do. Make it happen. Until next time, you guys have a good one. God bless. See you next time.